Hola, muy buenas, Matías here, and in this video we are going to dive deep into the Che side of things. If you have heard Argentinians speaking, it seems that Che is everywhere, and in fact, it's a very, very versatile word that appears everywhere. In this video, we are going to see 4 ways in which che is used in Rioplatense Spanish. The first use of che is very similar to hey in English, and especially when we use hey to call the attention of someone. If we are trying to get the attention of a person, we can say che and that person's name, or we can only use che, and probably it will be enough to get what we are trying to. For example, if someone says, Che, Mati, vení, first they are using che to call the attention, and then they are using my name to make sure I understand they are talking to me. Then they say whatever they want to say. Che, Mati, vení. A second and very typical use of che is when we are shifting topics and we are trying to ask a question. With che, we can kind of start a new paragraph in the conversation. If we are sitting together and I want to ask you something, maybe throwing the question straight at you is not very natural, but if I include che at the front, it can change the whole feeling of the situation. For example, let's say your name is Mark, and I ask, Che, Mark, ¿de dónde sos? Hey, Mark, where are you from? And with that simple trick, we may say, we are making it much more casual, and we are showing that we are trying to open this conversation. Another example could be, Che, Nati, ¿estás ocupada? So we use che, and then we ask the question. This works for interruptions, but also, like I said at first, for shifting topics or getting into a specific topic. A third use of che is when we use it for exclamations, and typically we place it at the end. For example, when we say, qué calor, che, qué frío, che, qué caro, che, qué bueno, che. And if we write it down, it should have that comma before che, but when you hear people saying it, using it, it sounds like a continuous phrase. So, qué calor, che. And the stress will normally be placed in that last part of the sentence. The fourth use of che is not as clear as the previous 3 we discussed, especially because che appears in places where it doesn't play any role. It's just there because it's a filler or it's a word that we are using as part of that typical oral necessity of buying yourself some time. And that's why sometimes that final E extends and you may hear like che, a longer E. So next time you hear someone using che, try to identify what that che is doing in the sentence. Is it a way of getting the person's attention? Is it placed before a question? Or it's an exclamation and che makes it feel more intense or stronger. I hope you liked this short video, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Stay around to see what happens in Venture Out. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.